Hello everyone, welcome to a short meditation today. So meditation is one of the things that a lot of people say, I would love to get into, I would love to start doing, but I just don't know how. Meditation seems very scary. It seems like this big word that is hard to attain, right? We believe that when we sit down to meditate or lay down to meditate that we should immediately turn off our mind, right? That all thoughts should just easily go because it's just thought, right? And so why would it be hard? And yet meditation is not easy, and it's just like coming to the yoga mat and trying to work on a physical asana, right? You need time, you need dedication. In yoga, there's a word tapas, and it's self-discipline, it's heat, it's work, right? It's what we have to do to get to our mat, but also what we have to do while we're on our mat. And when you come to the cushion to sit, you also have to implement the tapas. You have to have that self-discipline to do the work, to do the practice, whatever that practice might be, and then the dedication to do it as regularly as you can, right? And so the question, how often should I meditate? If you can meditate every day, meditate every day. If you can meditate once a week, meditate once a week, right? But just get to your cushion and start the practice. And one of the biggest things to remember is to let go of judgment, to let go of any unfriendly ideas or concepts about your meditation practice. I hear a lot, I can't meditate, I'm really bad at it. And I say there is no bad meditation, there is no bad sit. You just sit and let what happens happen. Do the work, but don't judge the practice. So if thoughts come up repeatedly, they come up repeatedly. Just do the work to recognize, do the work to let them go. And let the progression of the practice take the time that it needs. So there is no bad meditation. You are not a bad meditator, I promise. There are no bad sits, there's only a sit. So for today, the meditation practice we'll do is a Shamatha meditation practice. And this practice is a Tibetan Buddhist form of meditation. You do not have to be Tibetan, you do not have to be Buddhist to do it, so don't worry about that. But it's what we call a Vipassana, practice. And a Vipassana practice is simply a one-pointed focus, right? Shamatha translates into calm abiding. So we want to be present, abide within the moment, but with a sense of calm about us, calm within the mind. And we do that through one pointed focus. And that focus is on the breath. Why do we choose the breath? Why not choose a candle, which you can, or a mantra, which you can? But the breath is easy. You can take your breath anywhere with you. You don't need a cushion. You don't need any proper equipment. You only need you to focus on the breath. Your breath is also personal. So you have a connection to it. It's going to be easier for you to recognize, easier for you to pay attention to your breath. It's not an external thing that your mind has to find. It's already there. And the breath has a physical sensation that you can relate to as well. So for all those reasons, we find the breath in Shamatha. And with the Shamatha practice, again, it's not about not thinking. So if you're thinking, don't judge that. But it's about recognizing thought and trying to decrease the reactivity, decrease what we call the snowball effect of the mind, where a thought starts very small and then becomes very monstrous if you allow it to travel and continue. So we learn to recognize thought wherever in the process of the thought it might be. We are able to recognize, we're able to extract out that thought and let it go. And and then come back to your breath. And we do that with a label of thinking. A clear, specific word, thinking. Non-emotive. So not thinking or thinking, but very clear, very precise thinking. And then you release and come back to the breath. And that's your work, that moment. From the time you label to the time you come back to the breath, that's the meat of the work. That's the training that you're doing for your mind. And then you just rest in the breath until the next thought comes up and you notice it, you label it thinking, you come back to the breath. And again, this can happen many times throughout your sit. It can happen once throughout your sit. Who knows? But we do this without judgment, without analyzation. We don't worry about how many times you said thinking. I don't want you to count it. Just be. And the more you do this practice, the more space you'll find, the more clarity of mind you'll find. So that we decrease monkey mind, the ever racing, the ever jumping from thought to thought that happens. And we become more present and more clear with our everyday life. That's what this practice helps us to do. Find clarity, find peace within that space so that you can enjoy the trees, you can enjoy the sun, you can enjoy time with your friends, your family, and be really, truly present. And then if you'd like to do a mantra meditation or you'd like to do a guided meditation, you're more prepared to listen and allow it to come in. So this practice is a wonderful base practice to have. And one that you can do every day. You can do in your car, right before the grocery store. Any few moments that you have. If you have 2 minutes or if you have 30 minutes. Any time that you have to sit. But the more you do it, the more you develop that self-discipline to get to the cushion, and the more you'll recognize the benefits of this practice. All right, so let's do it together. Yeah, let's talk sitting. So I am sitting up on a nice fancy bolster with a couple of blocks underneath my knees. You want to sit high enough that your hips and your knees are in line and that there's less work in the hips so that your spine can lengthen tall from the sits bones up through the crown of your head. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your shins, whatever makes sense comfortably for your body. And during your meditation practice, if the physical body starts to give you sensation, first of all, adjust that physical body. Scratch your nose, move your leg, whatever you need to do, adjust the posture, but then label that thinking and come back to your breath. So this is not a practice you have to be completely still to do. There can be a slight bit of shift, but only out of necessity. So we sit tall. Our palms of our hands are on our thighs so that the elbows, I'm kind of covered by my shawl, but you'll see the elbows rest below the shoulders. We're not way out here with the arms extended, and we're not way back here with the shoulder blades moving towards each other. I like to have a nice shawl on me to keep me a little bit more warm, to kind of feel wrapped and encompassed and supported during my practice. You don't need it, you can have it if you'd like. So palms of our hands on our thighs, elbows heavy. And then look straight ahead and find length. The lift up through the crown of your head with the ground through your pelvis. From here, let your chin tip down slightly so that you find the gaze about 4 to 6 feet in front of you. And then decrease that gaze to about half. So you're not focused on the spot on the floor that your eyes are at. But you're balancing out your focus between internal and external. And we start to train ourselves to be present, even with the eyes open. This can be the hardest thing for a lot of people to do, is to keep the eyes open. So if your eyes start to get strained or you feel like you need to close them for a few moments. And then once you feel that you've connected yourself back, open them again. But understand that when you close the eyes, the sensations get bigger. So allowing the soft half gaze will allow us to find that balance between internal and external world. And then find your breath. Notice first where it naturally falls. Do you find your breath easier in your belly, in your chest, or the tip of your nose? We're not trying to change the breaths with this practice. We're not judging where you breathe or how you breathe. Just simply find your breath. And rest the attention there. Begin to watch the breath rise with the inhale and release with the exhale. And so we'll sit together, beginning and ending with the sound of our chime. your gaze to lift. And then just move your body any way that might feel awakening. Maybe a twist from side to side. Maybe you extend the legs out, wiggle your toes. Nice. So that was a 10-minute sit. It's a great place to start. And anytime you need to review this video or just come back and sit with me, please do. And if you have any questions or comments about your meditation practice, please feel free to message, email me, and let me know, and I'll answer your questions the best that I can. But I wish you all clarity of mind and heart and peace. Namaste.